Have you ever felt like you're running a race with no finish line? You're doing everything you're supposed to, studying, working, taking on responsibilities, but inside, you feel completely lost. It's not about being poor or jobless. It's a deeper kind of exhaustion, a quiet pressure that follows you everywhere. If this sounds familiar, this story is for you. It's about a girl named Maya, and it might just feel like your story too. Maya was what you'd call a good girl. She got good grades, landed a decent job right after college, and always did what her family expected. On the surface, her life looked perfect. Her social media was a gallery of smiling photos and small achievements, but behind that smile, Maya was drowning. Every morning, her alarm felt like a siren, signaling another day of pretending. At work, she'd sit in meetings, nodding and taking notes, while her mind was a whirlwind of questions. Is this it? Is this all my life is going to be? She was constantly comparing herself to others. A friend's promotion felt like her failure. Her cousin's engagement made her question her own loneliness. She wasn't jealous. She was just adrift. The pressure to have it all figured out was crushing her. She felt like an actor in her own life, playing a part she never auditioned for. Her nights were the worst. She'd lie awake, scrolling endlessly, seeing curated versions of happiness while feeling a deep, hollow ache inside. The world seemed to be moving forward, while she was stuck in a fog, going through the motions. The turning point wasn't a dramatic event. It was a quiet Tuesday evening. Maya was making tea, her mind racing as usual, when she accidentally knocked over her favorite mug, a gift from her late grandmother. It shattered on the floor. As she looked at the broken pieces, something inside her shattered too. She didn't cry. She just sat on the floor, surrounded by the fragments, and for the first time in years, she stopped pretending. She was broken, just like the mug. In that moment of stillness, a thought emerged. Why am I fighting so hard to hold together a life I don't even want? That night, she didn't scroll through her phone. Instead, she took out an old, dusty journal. She started writing, not about her achievements, but about her pain. She wrote about the fear, the confusion, the feeling of being an imposter. Page after page, she poured out the truth. It was messy and raw, but it was real. This was the beginning of Maya's true journey. She realized her pain wasn't a weakness to be hidden, it was a compass. It was pointing her toward everything that felt wrong in her life. She started making small changes. She muted social media accounts that made her feel inadequate. She started saying no to things that drained her energy. She started taking long walks without her phone, just listening to the sounds of the city and her own thoughts. She didn't quit her job or run off to a remote island. Her transformation was quieter, more internal. She started talking to a therapist, not because she was broken, but because she wanted to learn how to put her pieces back together in a way that felt authentic. She learned that vulnerability wasn't a flaw. It was the birthplace of connection and strength. She started finding joy in small, simple things, the warmth of her morning tea, a conversation with a colleague about something other than work, the progress she made in her journal. The biggest lesson Maya learned was this: pain is not the enemy. Pain is a messenger. It tells us when we are off course. It signals that something needs to change. For years, she had been trying to numb her pain, to ignore it, to run from it. But the moment she turned and faced it, the moment she listened to what it was trying to tell her, it stopped being a source of suffering and became her greatest source of power. It gave her the clarity to rebuild her life, not based on expectations, but on her own truth. So what's the message here? If you feel lost or stuck, don't be afraid of your pain. Don't numb it or run from it. Get quiet and listen to it. What is it trying to tell you? Your struggle isn't a sign that you are failing. It's a sign that you are ready for a new chapter. The girl who turned her pain into power wasn't a superhero. She was just a normal person like you and me, who finally decided to stop running and start listening. Your pain holds your power. All you have to do is turn around and face it. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before the world told you who you should be. If this story resonated with you, know that you are not alone. Your path to clarity is waiting. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself.